Quarantine haircuts need to be a thing. Actually, quarantine gone needs to be a thing, so haircuts can be a thing once again. Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. I'm not sure if you're someone who gets easily annoyed. I know that there was a time in my life when I was really easily annoyed. I have a number of pet peeves. One of those pet peeves, my family and some good friends know about this. I hate just people who chew with their mouth open. That just, anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, unless maybe you're a child, in which case I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute, whatever. I've gotten better at dealing with it. Another thing that was annoying, I remember this happening all of the time in seminary. We'd be in the chapel, maybe you've been there, where it's like the Adoration chapel. You're kind of close to each other. It's very, very quiet. No one is supposed to be making any noise in this place. They're supposed to be silent in adoration. And they're like, no, but I'm praying the Rosary, so I need to or even, maybe not even worse, but kind of just as bad, where all you hear is, right, you hear that they're like, dude, you don't have to mouth the words. And getting so interiorly, violently aggravated, and you want to be that person who looks, right? Maybe this happens to you on an airplane or wherever it is. Maybe you're driving and you see that person do the wrong thing and you want to look over at them so that they know they're dumb. It's not because they're dumb. And they might have done something silly, or I might, yes, be annoyed by the fact that they're making noises with their mouths when everyone in the room should be quiet, or that they're chewing with their mouth open, right? But when it comes to being annoyed, I think one of the first steps that I had to learn to get past a lot of this, it's such small stuff, right? It's petty things. The thing I had to learn was that it is a choice to be annoyed. If I'm annoyed by what someone else is doing, that's because I chose to be annoyed. And if any of us if you're watching this, listening to this, and if you find yourself often becoming annoyed, maybe you need to hear this truth. And I say it is a truth. Being annoyed is a choice. And I know it's a choice. Why? Because, well, here's one proof that being annoyed is a choice. We can have two different people do the exact same thing. And with one person doing the exact same thing, we're fine with that. It doesn't bother me at all. No, actually, maybe it's even adorable. Maybe it's even funny. But a different person that maybe I don't like does the exact same thing, and I'm like, what the heck, I can't even believe this person would do this kind of thing. I'm so annoyed by them. Can you believe this person who said this or did this? Oh, why was it fine when person A did it, but I'm super annoyed when person B did it? It's because I chose to be annoyed. Because being annoyed is a choice. In fact, I remember hearing the story about this group of men who were POWs in Vietnam. They were put into a very, very small room with basically their quarters when they were not kind of allowed outside of this shack. They were in this shack. It was very, very small, terrible conditions where they basically had in order to sleep, they had to sleep touching each other essentially. So really, really cramped conditions. And whenever a new person arrived, they would say, okay, here's our agreement, the agreement of all these men who are living in this very, very small environment. They said, we've decided to agree that if I become annoyed with something you do, like you're picking your toenails, whatever the things that could be annoying, right? I could go down the list, but let's just spare ourselves from that. If I'm being annoyed by something that you're doing, I'm going to take responsibility and say that's my fault. If I'm annoyed with you, that's my fault. And I think that's such a freeing kind of a thing. Back in the chapel, and the person's making noise with their mouth when it's supposed to be quiet. Well, if I'm annoyed by that, why would I let that steal my peace? If someone does something terrible on the road that, cut me off or whatever the thing is, yeah, that could be wrong, but why let that steal my peace? I can acknowledge that it's wrong, but why would I let that lead me to a place? I don't like being annoyed. So why would I choose to be annoyed? Being annoyed is a choice. I think there's three potential responses to annoyance. One is I can rise above it. That's the first one. Well, sorry, there's four. One is I can just be annoyed. I can say, you need to stop that or else my day is ruined. Okay, that's one. But the positive ones are I can rise above it. I can actively choose to rise above this thing. I can exercise patience. I can exercise understanding. Some of the people that I've been around who have chewed their food with their mouths open are people who I'm like, what the heck? When I did express this, they were like, well, my nose is stuffed. I can't breathe if I don't, have my mouth open. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can choose to rise above this. I can choose to exercise patience. I can choose to be merciful. The second thing is I was thinking about this in terms of, we were in our chapel a bit earlier this week, and the smoke alarm in another room was going off, and it was beeping, and it was one of those pieces where that's what made me think of this whole thing about annoyance, because I was kind of getting annoyed, but I was like, no, I don't need to be annoyed. The second thing I could do, so first thing obviously is I get annoyed. Second thing, I rise above it. The third thing is I can do something about it. In fact, that's why the smoke alarm starts beeping. You know, when the battery's getting low, it starts beeping. I'm like, that is so annoying. Well, I can do something about it. Like I can allow this feeling of distress inside of me, this feeling of annoyance to move me in a positive way, to address this in a positive way. Does that make sense? Okay, so first, I can give into the annoyance. Do not recommend. Number 2, rise above it. Exercise patience and mercy and compassion, all these things. Number 3, do something about it. Like, let it move you to positive action. And the fourth thing is based off of a quote from, I think, St. Jose Maria Escrivá. St. Jose Maria Escrivá said this. He said, never say that person annoys me. Simply say that person sanctifies me. Because you know, in our world, with our fallen hearts, our broken human nature, we always want what we want, right? Like, I want what I want, and if you're doing something I don't like, well, it annoys me, but it's me having to put up with someone else's will, someone else's decisions, someone else's choices. But to be able to let go of my will, let go of my desire, let go of what I would prefer in this moment, is a dying to self, even if it's a small dying to self. So it isn't just annoying, it's potentially sanctifying. So if I'm willing to say, yeah, no, I would like it to be otherwise, but you know what? It's not otherwise. Lord, use this. I mean, again, it can be super small, but the Lord uses great things and He uses small things. So, annoyance or being annoyed is a choice. I can 1, choose to give into it. I can 2, rise above it. I can 3, do something about it. And I can 4, allow it to sanctify me. Next time you get annoyed, which might be because this video is going on for so darn long, choose one of those 4. Or maybe choose number 2, 3, and 4. Anyways, for all of us here at Ascension Presents, my name's Father Mike. God bless. Maybe that wink thing's annoying. I don't know. Maybe the whatever annoying. I don't even know all the annoying things that I probably do with my life. I don't even know. Man, the list goes on and on. Yeesh.